Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now August 23rd of 2024, and there's been a lot of drama happening between both the Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm. Those like Bob Iger, the Disney CEO, and Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm. It's been very much a bad situation, not just for the Walt Disney Company, but also for Lucasfilm HQ. Ever since the Acolyte officially got cancelled, and we've been talking about this for weeks upon weeks, there's been a lot of fighting behind the scenes, a lot of battling between both these studios after Bob Iger was really meddling with that overall decision for a while until he really made it final and really put it into concrete plans. But what's interesting about all of this has a lot to do with actress Amandla Stenberg, who, by the way, portrayed Osha and May in the Acolyte series. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, just a couple of days ago, Bob Iger, the rest of the Disney board of directors, made that ultimate decision after the Nielsen reports, by the way, the Nielsen ratings, which never lie. You really can't run away from that. There's no way that you could hide about the facts that the overall finale for the Acolyte was really like down here where it really should have been. If it was a good Star Wars story, it would have been way up in the charts. Now, what's interesting about all of this has a lot more to do with Stenberg and her overall reaction behind the scenes and what kind of action she's actually taking after the Acolyte got cancelled. Season 2 is no more, along with all of the Acolyte spin-off shows. We'll talk more about that as well. They really wanted to create their own little mini-universe by Leslie Headland, by Kathleen Kennedy, to kind of do their own thing. Now, on top of this, ever since the Disney heads, including Bob Iger, made the ultimate call to cancel the Acolyte after its abysmal ratings via the Nielsen reports, a major shakeup now has been happening between both Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company. Now, one major development now has more to do with actress Amandla Stenberg and the drama happening with her behind the scenes at Lucasfilm after she recently got fired over her music video that was posted on Instagram that also led to the cancellation of the Acolyte. Now, one serious update to all of this now actually involves how Amandla Stenberg believes that she was wrongfully fired from Lucasfilm and all of its projects behind the scenes that were just recently made final by Bob Iger and the board of directors that sparked outrage from Kathleen Kennedy and the Lucasfilm Story Group, and already Amandla Stenberg is reportedly preparing to take some form of legal action as soon as September, claiming that the Walt Disney Company is wrongfully letting her go from projects that she agreed to in her quote-unquote contract, many of which were, by the way, High Republic-focused projects, some live-action and some animated, while the other, of course, was indeed the Acolyte Season 2. The Disney executives, however, reassured Amandla that the contract was not final in writing and was going to pay her millions of dollars altogether if agreed upon. As of now, Stenberg is already playing the race card after both her firing, of course, from Lucasfilm and the Acolyte Season 2's cancellation. The main reason why Disney made this very quick decision is that they made multiple requests for Stenberg to take down her music video. Post, of course, the Acolyte midway season, we all knew that was actually a very big deal ever since she posted that music video. The main reason, however, why Disney made that quick call over everything to take down our music video was, of course, it was really creating a lot of problems by, of course, the critics, by, of course, Star Wars fans when they saw that led to a series of heated arguments by her behind the scenes, and now Stenberg is already moving forward with putting together a legal team against the Walt Disney Company after the Acolyte was indeed cancelled. Now, this is described to be a desperate move to put Disney in a frazzled state to have them cave to her demands to reinstate the second season. Even those like Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland and the rest of the Lucasfilm Story Group have been siding with Kennedy and, of course, her as a group to convince the Disney heads to undo the cancellation of the Acolyte. However, as of now, Bob Iger and the rest of Disney absolutely refuse to budge. This also comes in the wake of canceling millions of dollars worth of the Acolyte merchandise online that is now no longer for sale. This was a sudden decision also made by the Disney higher-ups after financial analysts knew that those products were not going to go anywhere and would not go to any would not be sold to any customer, whether it's online or in the theme parks. Now, Before I move on, guys, let me just say one thing about this. Now, The Acolyte was canceled weeks ago. There was a lot of negotiations taking place. Kathleen Kennedy, Leslie Headland, Amandla Stenberg, they were trying to get this thing reinstated as soon as possible until just a couple of days ago. Bob Iger made that final call. No negotiations. They're moving forward. They want to focus on other things. They can't run away from this whole situation. I mean, this is basically going to follow Disney for the rest of time. Nobody's going to forget the abysmal failure of The Acolyte. Even if you cancel this, I don't believe it's a step in the right direction. Well, yes, to a degree, it was a good call to cancel this, but is it going to really fix anything? I don't believe so. I don't think it's going to fix anything at all within the Star Wars universe. I think the damage has been done. It has been, something that can be, not repaired at this point. I don't believe that even if you get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, you're really going to be able to fix this franchise. What's done is done as far as I'm concerned. So, on top of this, on top of everything, there are already discussions right now of removing The Acolyte off the Disney Plus platform, just like they did with Willow, altogether. And Stenberg is said to be aware of this actual recent development, which is also sparking her to take some form of legal action and getting involved in more heated arguments against Disney starting this September if things keep going this way. Already, both Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy are having intense arguments about the current status of her projects. Now, that's a very serious development. The fact that they are conversing, right, Bob Iger, the board, on whether or not they want to remove The Acolyte from Disney Plus. Now, look, we talked about the merchandise a month and a half ago that they were going to pull this off from many of their websites, from all of their theme parks. Nothing Acolyte will be seen again. And here we are, just a couple of days ago, that actually did end up happening. And that was the plan all along. They did not want to have any kind of reminder that The Acolyte is in existence. They want to make it like it doesn't exist. Well, you might as well make it non-canon then at this point, just like Star Wars Visions is non-canon, right? Treat it as something, that stands on its own, that doesn't really matter. That's what they should do. They should really strip away the canon elements and say, this is not canon, this is not anything to George Lucas's Star Wars. And I think maybe, and only maybe, that may be a little bit of a remedy to the entire situation and the backlash. But I don't believe it's going to fix anything. That's just a very small step in a possible right direction. So, again, we have people like Amandla getting all bent out of shape over this recent development over The Acolyte Season 2 getting cancelled. She refused to take down her music video, and get this, guys, the music video is still up after all of this. She actually keeps the music video up on Instagram, mocking Star Wars fans and the critics that really had very big issues with The Acolyte because it was such a canon breaker, because it was such a terribly written, acted, and directed show, and that's just the very beginning of it all. Now, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.